Greetings everyone and welcome back to a commune. Let's continue. The flow of time doesn't change. A single revolution of the Earth takes 24 hours. That basic rule hasn't changed for billions of years. So objective time should never vary. If it ever seems like it does, that's only your body's sense of time. That's only you as a subject perceiving time. We humans define how fast time moves for us.
それってあれかな、ピンチの時のトイレ待ち。1秒が永遠にも感じるってやつ。
That's not the best mental image.
じゃあ例えばどんなの?
When I need to use the ATM and the woman in front of me is very old and slow.
それは普通に長いだけだと思う。
Like a shark, Benyo just can't stand still. It's physically impossible. She spins around to burn off excess energy. Her short skirt twirls. The moon peeks out over the skyline. From here, the town is dazzling yet calm. Jack the Ripper. I don't know who gave him that name, but the serial murders that turned the city's nights red ended just as suddenly as they began. One day, the dying simply stopped, just like the previous spree that shook the city years ago. The police and mass media are still investigating it. His influence continues to run rampant through the back alleys in the form of rumors. The truth is never spoken. Jack won't be coming back since the Black Dragon defeated him. Thus,
平和な夜って素敵だと思う。街の光って星みたいだし、キラキラしてて私好きなの。
her eyes sparkle like a child's.
ここ、たまり場としては9大点くらいかな。ねえねえ、アキヒト、こういうところドキドキしない?
If you are having heart problems, you should go see a doctor.
違う、そうじゃなくて、廃墟の屋上、誰もいないお屋敷、知らないビル。秘密の空間っぽくていいと思う。ワクドキ。
We're on a roof a short distance away from the new heart. I sit down on a rusty pipe, lean against the wall, and feel the slow passage of peaceful time. We're a team. We don't have much friendship, trust, or cooperation, but we are 5 people and a witch that live and die as one. To keep the group running smoothly, we have 2 regular meetings every week. Attendance is bad tonight. 3 people are missing. Like the moon, we are half missing.
私たちが守った街なんだよね。
Benyo rests an elbow on the edge of the roof, her chin in her hand. Under the moonlight, the city looks like an arrangement of blue silhouettes. You really are an ally of justice, Benyo.
それってかなり燃えるな。
I don't get girls.
学生バイトの休憩室かよ。くだらねえダベリやってんなら帰るぞ、俺は。
The last member in attendance tonight is a man with no patience.
伊沢、まったりは嫌い？せかせかしてると胃に悪いよ。
てめえらの面見ながらまったりできるか。ヘドが出るぜ。
Try to smell the roses once in a while. We became a commune one day out of the blue without any choice in the matter. At first, we were running around like headless chickens. People were trying to kill us, so we had no time to think.
襲ってくるやつがいなくなりゃ、まったりお友達ごっこってわけか。
Enough with the tantrum. Are you the type who thinks humanity declines when there isn't a war for them to be fighting?
減らず口だけは多い野郎だぜ。ぶっ殺されてえのか。
I'm completely used to this malice now. Even being stabbed by thorns gets old after a while. I'm sure Isawa's just as lost as the rest of us. We don't know what to do with this power girl Ace suddenly gave us. It's only human to want to use power once you have it, be it a gun or a knife. If there is no opportunity to use it, you start looking for an excuse. For all we know, Isawa could have become Jack the Ripper if we made one misstep somewhere. He lives as a monster, rejecting the world and other people. There were plenty of people that had a chance of losing their humanity. It could have been Isawa, it could have been anyone. For better or worse, we are a group of 5, 6 including the witch. When you're alone, you can do whatever you want. When there are others around, not so much.
ラウンドの連中、あれから何か言ってきてやがったか?
Not to me. Have you heard anything? Or you, Benyo?
全然ないない。静かそのもの。
I gaze at the city again. Isawa is not the only one. Benyo, Haru, and Mayuki all hold a heat that's difficult to describe, though it's directed differently for each of them. No doubt the Jack the Ripper incident was a turning point for them. We defeated Jack together as a commune. Babylon crushed that life with its own hands. We've used it twice now to take lives away. The first time we didn't know we were doing it. The second time we chose to do it. When you kill someone with an avatar, it doesn't feel as real, but the other person still dies. There's no one here to judge or punish us. Rules haven't been made, so public opinion is the only source of right and wrong. The community has made a hero out of the black dragon that feeded the monster. Jack the Ripper and Babylon, they both stole lives, but the results were different. What was the fine line separating their actions? Izawa, Benyo and the other two have thought hard about the conclusion. They've crossed some kind of border. Ever since then, there's been a small heat inside each of them.
本当に静かになったよね。
まあな。
It's unusual for him to respond normally. The Jack the Ripper incident was a turning point for the Round Table too. The Black Dragon defeated Jack. It's widely known that the Round Table was supporting our actions. They used us to deal with Jack the Ripper without staining their own hands. But the community's reaction to those events isn't quite what they wanted. In the end, this incident merely proved that the only way to stop violence is to control it with greater violence. It's considered normal to think that way now. Caesar's legion is growing more than ever now that the worries of the masses are pushing it forward. Caesar's legion, an army led by the mysterious champion, a vigilante group made up of connectors. However, despite those changes, the city is quiet, as if it was empty. This isn't the calm before a storm. No one even seems to be dueling with their avatars anymore. I just feel confused. Like I'm the only one left in the courtyard after school, unsure whether I should leave or not.
何も起こらねえのに、てめえらとちんたらつらつき合わせてるのは飽きが来るぜ。
Don't cause any trouble yourself. If you get us all killed, we'll haunt your descendants.
なんだ？リーダー面かよ。
If you don't like it, you can lead.
それはちょっちっていうか、かなりまずいと思うの。
I thought the same thing after I said it.
そんな面倒なもん頼まれたってやるかよ。てめえみたいな腹黒野郎にちょうどいいぜ。
If you think I'm perfect, then listen to what I say once in a while. The only reason I'm taking on this responsibility is to keep myself alive. Izawa, Haru, Mayuki, Benyo. There aren't a lot of good choices there. We need someone who can keep the group together. Communes are governed by rules. If the avatar dies, all 5 humans die. We're not allowed to live or die alone. If you think peace is boring, you need to get your priorities straight. Even when our days are bright, destruction and unfairness quietly approach. I know that better than anyone.
平穏無事が大事なら、お家に引きこもってやがれ。
伊沢は何かしたいことあるの？
てめえこそどうしたいんだよ。いや、お前は黙ってろ。何も言うな、うぜえ。
He stops her before she can answer. There's no need to ask what Benyo's hopes are.
何よ
She pouts.
私は町が平和になったから大満足ですよ。それに探せば他にできることだって。
Benyo said she wanted to be an ally of justice. If a random monster attacked us every week, we wouldn't have to think so hard about what to fight for. We were never brought together for any specific reason.
今夜は花から揃ってやがらねえ。あのヘビ女はともかく、メイドとチビメガネもいねえぞ。
まゆまゆはバイトが抜けられないって夕方にメールあった。おはるさんはその男の人とデートだって。
Why are you blushing if it's someone else who's going on a date? The 5 of us remain strangers to each other. We don't come together without a good reason.
ガン首揃える義務なんざ誰にもねえんだ。俺だって何もなけりゃてめえらの顔なんざ見たくもねえ。
Hearing you say that out loud kinda hurts. I'm sick of criticizing him, so I try joking instead. Our eyes meet.
Huh?
I said it hurts. Izawa's face goes red. That's a new reaction.
バカかてめえ!
He snaps. Why was he blushing just now?
俺たちはそもそもなんだ! ダチでも仲間でもなんでもないだろうが!
何赤くなってんの？
うるせえ! 痛むねえ! てめえは黙ってろ!
むかー!
Izawa looks up at the night sky, sulking. Slowly but surely, our relationships have been changing ever since the Jack the Ripper incident.
もう せっかく仲間なのに。
ちゃんちゃらおかしいぜ。
Binyo looks at the sky. The wind's a little cold, a black plain with no obstructions. I look up as well. A full 90-degree angle. All I see is a black sky and tiny stars. We are right in the middle of the city, but this feels like a nighttime sea with no one around for miles.
何か意見あるの？
She turns to me. It feels like she's hoping for something solid to cling to among these vague problems. A reason why we've been put together. Normal human relationships. When people are in a group, there's even less need to get clear answers for these things. Sometimes that can even make things more difficult. If you don't have any, why not make some?
作る？
We can find something to do ourselves. Classmates, acquaintances, family. A lover whose name you shout at the center of the world. A commune is none of those. If we needed to have some kind of meaning, we just have to dig something up ourselves.
は
例えば何？
I wasn't thinking of anything, so that's a painful question. I make my brain start turning again before it turns to pudding. Starting a band? What's with those cold gazes? I just felt like saying it. Don't take me that seriously. Build an airplane together and try to fly it?
なんで飛ばなきゃならねえんだよ。なんならそこのフェンスの向こうに飛ばしてやろうか。
Isawa clicks his tongue and turns around.
付き合ってらんねえぜ。
伊沢、ちょっとみんな考えてるんだから少しくらい手伝ってよね。仲間でしょ？
頑張って維持するほどの関係かよ。
Yes, if only to minimize the risk. He goes quiet. There's a reason to maintain these relationships. If any one of us steps on a landmine, we are all done for. That rule binds all of us equally.
秋人の言いたいことなんとなくわかるかも。どうせ一緒にいないといけないならせめてって話でしょ？
仲良くぶったたける敵がいりゃいいって話か？
He smirks stubbornly.
もうなんですぐ危ない方に持ってくのかな。
Well, what he's saying is a bit extreme, but he might be right.
秋人、なんか危険人物になってきた？
We're a commune. We weren't given an objective. All we have are 5 disorderly stories, each with different genres and lengths. Some try to spin new stories with their groups. Some with violence. Some with reason. Some by throwing the world away. We haven't chosen any of those yet.
はあ、なんだかパッとしない気分。
Yeah, maybe this is enough for tonight.
ちっ、無駄な時間だったぜ。
Isawa spits out those words and disappears from the roof. He returns to the darkness of the city. Isawa lives in a completely different habitat from me and Benyo, but he's still mingling with us. In the end, he can't truly leave this group. That simple fact is what keeps him coming.
期待したんだけどな。
What do you mean?
秋人がこうビシッとコミの方針を決めて引っ張ってくれちゃったりして。
You want me to actually lead on top of keeping us all together? That's too much. We were given power in the form of an avatar, but no target to knock down with it. Inevitably, the way we live is affected by the path that's been set for us. Like Gasai, for instance. We are not allowed to live or die alone. The weight is just too heavy. I'm just a prophet of democracy. I'm not a fan of any other political structure.
ブー。
By the way, have you eaten yet?
おごってくれるの？
If you're fine with a family restaurant.
乗った。
She pulls my hand. Binyo's smile blooms like a flower. This isn't bad.
ねえ、秋人。
Hmm?
6人の中の2人ってどうなんだろう。
She surprises me as if she just read my mind. She sounds rather aggressive as well. Our connected fingers feel sticky. Is that how you feel?
いざとなったらの話。
I don't like trying to plan for those situations.
本命ならいいんだ。
Sorry, we can plan. We don't have a path prepared for us. We can't see where our predecessors are heading, yet staying still makes us just as uneasy.
ラウンドの後ろ盾があれば簡単に襲ってくるやつもいなくなる。いいことずくめだと思うけどな。
お前を手に入れようと思う水は明人。
We had other options, we didn't take them. I don't know if that was the right choice. Invisible paths, invisible enemies. A meaning for the power we were given, a reason for the five of us to be connected. The vague questions continue bearing down on me in the calm air. My unease grows, carrying with it a hazy regret. The warmth of Benio's hand in mine, even that feels distant somehow. The city resembles a whimsical painter's canvas, a never-ending supply of new brushes paint over the existing image with new colors. Each time the city dies and is then reborn, old things are blotted out and forgotten, evolution and change are built atop annihilation of the old. But the past doesn't die, even if you wipe it out and seal it away, it never stops coming back to life and seeking revenge, not so long as someone remembers it. The darkness of night wipes away the city's deceptions for a brief moment. A throbbing scar, a breathing curse. A story from only 5 years ago. Back then, unprecedented destruction tore through the city. Time passed, and the broken buildings have come back to life. However, the people's time remains stopped. The wounds and curses carved into their hearts. Time hasn't healed them. Instead, it's allowed them to swell, fester, and rot. All ye wounded souls, the time of revenge is upon ye. Let's prepare for the banquet. Let's show them all to each other. Show the depths of the scars. Show the strength of the curses. And then play the unharmonious noise, the truth of our daily lives filled with deception. The time of revenge has come for thee. What was that about?
どこへ行きたい
Where? The usual classroom, the usual classmates. Our normal life refers to those spans of time that, for the most part, lack change. I stifle a yawn. There's a blank space on the window side of the room. Kagome isn't here today. Since the classroom has no heretics, it can rejoice over normality even more than usual. Heretics always break the world. The world is none other than the boundary line used to keep different things out. Come to think of it, there's one difference, a new figure sitting one seat in front of me. Soejima Hisoka, the transfer student. She doesn't stand out much here, she has hardly any presence at all. Thus, the class behaves the same as usual. Lunch break, I escape to the usual place. A change has occurred in the sanctuary I call the roof. There's 2 of them. 2 roof-dwelling life forms. The first is Kururi, the second... it's Hisoka. Soejima sits on the bench holding her knees. I thought she was quiet and inconspicuous, so this behavior is surprising. I see.
何が
The territory negotiations happened peacefully behind closed doors. Kururi and Soejima share a single bench. I guess roof-dwelling organisms don't like conflict.
とてもいい人照れるね
Somehow that makes sense. I'm not sure exactly how, but Soejima does feel kinda similar to Kururi. They both sunbathe on the bench like feral cats. Now what? The space feels awkward in an unprecedented and mysterious way. Our group is affected tremendously by Soejima's arrival. You like roofs? For now, I try penetrating their airspace in a relatively safe manner.
空が好き空が見える場所も好き
This is the highest place in the school?
そうだと思って
I see. Your actions are quite logical. Did you like the roof at your last school too?
そうお兄さんも好きなの
Why is she calling him Oni-san? I guess you're not so good at remembering names.
水は明人
You did know it?
名前って不便だもの
Are they? To learn?
忘れるのが
For some reason, those words hit me quite hard.
さてと 私はそろそろ行こうかな。
What did she say? I think I should get going. Okay. Kurudi slowly gets up. There's still time before the bell rings. Where are you going?
生まれながらの探求者。くるりちゃんの行くところには常に真実がこっそり隠れている。
And you've decided no truths lie in your next class?
分かりきったことを聞くってトロだよね。
Bathroom?
じゃあセクハラ。
There's no moe whatsoever in that voice. At least show some shred of shame.
すべての資源は有限なの。労力の消費も最小限度にね。というわけで、また明日。
Kurudi disappears down the stairs without a wave goodbye. She left early.
不良さん、
It's not quite that simple.
どういうの？
She's a super detective. Time hurts. Understand? She quietly tilts her head to one side. I guess that's the natural reaction. She disappears sometimes. We once even thought she was dead for a while. Those memories are still fresh. She's made her safe return to society now, but I'm still worried she'll stroll into another minefield. Three minus 1 is 2. Kurori leaves me and Soejima on the bench. But human relationships are strange, so that equation doesn't necessarily hold. Our first meeting was very abnormal because of Kagume, but I've had no real contact with Soejima since then. The barriers to mutual understanding aren't an impenetrable fortress, but they still boast considerable strength. Soejima Hisoka hasn't stood out once in the classroom since her transfer. She's not blending in, she just doesn't make much of an impact to begin with. She's blunt, like a foreign traveler asking for shelter after a long journey. Soejima, where did you live before? I try asking. It feels weird trying to get the transfer student to open up, like I'm the class rep in a school drama or something.
高倉市。
Here? She nods with a clear face. I guess I hear it right. So, a different ward? This isn't the only school in the city.
休学してて5年間。
Absent for 5 years? Were you in the hospital or something? At our age, 5 years feels like an impassable gap. Is that why she seems a little removed from the world?
時を超える少女。
Huh? The anime? I vaguely remember a big hit with a name like that.
私、
She points toward her chin. 5 years.
そう。5年。
5 years. 5 years. I feel like something reared its head in the corner of my mind. I don't know what it is. It's not bright or fun. It's a dark, twisted memory. If nothing else, it's not the sort of thing I should be remembering under this bright blue sky.
悩み事？
Me?
そういう顔してるから。
She looks like she isn't interested in other people, but she's surprisingly sharp. I guess she isn't normally spacing out under the sun like this. And I shouldn't have let my feelings appear on my face, even for a moment. It'd be unnatural to pretend she's wrong, so I search for a safe answer. There's been a problem with my group lately.
うんうん。
If you must know, that's what I was thinking about.
例えば、どんな？
Well, nothing unusual. We're having trouble getting together, so we were thinking we need something new and exciting.
それなら、
Sojima's eyes slowly turn away from the blue sky and toward me sitting next to her.
散った方がいいと思う。
We can't really do that. There's a reason why we have to all stick together.
それなら、
Like a perfect replay of the last time she said it, without a single change in her expression.
動こう。誰かを当てにするから、自分が動けなくなる。ただ待っているのって、辛いよ。とても辛い。
Even those words have no passion in them, and yet that confession of dry words lingers in my ears.